What's up and welcome to a new update, and this time we are in Miami, but we're going to discuss the correction on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've just been anticipating a 2-week run of Bitcoin and currently we are correcting a little, which was kind of expected as the FOMO started to get towards the markets heavily. So in this update we're going to check the levels that you should be watching if you want to get into the actual positions that you want to. If you have missed or if you are taking profits the past week, we are going to discuss those in this update. But before we're going to continue, subscribe beneath, like this YouTube update, and also check out my Twitter and Instagram where you can find daily content on the market. And on Twitter we are going to do request day today, so we're checking some charts and altcoins that you have been requesting. When we're looking at the markets, I think it's a coincidence that when there's Bitcoin Miami, the markets are actually correcting. That has been happening last year too. We had the massive run right during this period, and we started correcting right around the actual Bitcoin conference. And I'm currently looking outside, seeing the sun. It's amazing to be here. Gonna enjoy the event in the next few hours too. I'm gonna be lots of meeting people and probably also some partying too. But when we're looking at the markets, I think that when you look at the sentiment overall, we had some clear signs that a correction was about to be happening. For instance, with Silica or Scale or some other of those altcoins that have been running quite fast. I get the feeling that there was, or the FOMO got into the markets. And usually when there is the FOMO, markets are about to correct. So right now we are seeing that correction taking place. And why is that happening? Well, first of all, the dollar is showing strength. And usually when the dollar is showing strength, you will see that risk on assets like the equities and crypto are showing some weakness. That is what we are seeing right now, and they are often correlated with each other. So the equities are dropping, crypto is dropping too. When Bitcoin is dropping, you will see that altcoins are dropping even more, and that is what is happening right now. And then second, we've had a pretty decent run on the market. So we've had a run from 35k to 46k, altcoins even more. And at some point when you start to rally upwards, the market switches from buyers towards a seller's market, and that is what we are currently seeing. Is a correction a bad thing to happen? No, it's actually not. We are currently seeing that correction taking place, and when we're just having a flat correction in which we get a, let's say downwards drop on Bitcoin of about 10 to 15%, the markets are still ready to continue moving. I think that the markets are, if you are ready to buy the dip on the altcoins, or if you are ready to buy the dip on the Bitcoin chart, I think that the chances are still pretty big, although some crucial levels should be holding up, and that is what we're going to discuss when we get towards the charts. So when we are looking at the charts for Bitcoin, the first thing you'll notice is the fact that we have been breaking out of this range. I've got a clean chart here, as we're currently just going to discuss the crucial levels that we want to seek, or that we want to look at. And what we see is that we have been making this breakout here, taking all the liquidity above the highs, and currently we are correcting. Normally, or usually, if we are breaking back in the range, which we have been acting in, you would argue that we're going to go all the way towards the other side of the range. However, we've got a crucial level in between that I preferably want to see sustain. And that's this entire block. The entire block around 40k is a crucial level that you clearly want to see sustain. If 40k is not going to hold up as a level, or we're going to have a bounce from 40k towards 45 and just break south again and retest 40k, I think that we are going to test the lows here and take the liquidity from there. Overall, if you look at the current structure of the correction, it's looking quite healthy in a way that we have been breaking out of the range, right? So we have been breaking out here, we have been dropping all the way back towards the previous small range to take the liquidity there or to have a little bounce, and clearly we have been rejecting again after that at the area of 46.8. What I see right now is the opportunity that we're actually sweeping the low. So we might even not be getting here, we are sweeping this low, grabbing liquidity as the volume is quite high, and through that the daily time frame starts to look like a pretty flat corrective move. What I mean by a flat corrective move is that we're not getting a fast move like we have been seeing previously. So in that case, the crucial level that I want to see it sustain is around 41k. The expectations are that we could be getting there still, but overall, if you're looking at the lower time frame, we can conclude that we are making a sweep of the low here and might actually have been finishing the correction already. So why is Bitcoin correcting at this point? Let's look at the US dollar. The US dollar is making some momentum, and actually in the past months, since the previous June 2021, the dollar has been going into a bull market, through which altcoins have not been going into a bull market, as you might know. And right now we are seeing a breakout taking place on the DXY. We just discussed the fact of fake outs above the range high. This could be one. So we've concluded that, hey, we are getting a very normal sideways correction on Bitcoin. And right now we have been concluding that the actual drop down has been taking place because the dollar is breaking out, and through that risk on assets are showing weakness. However, we have also concluded that the correction on Bitcoin is relatively flat. This means that if the dollar is going to lose this level, we break back into the range. That could be through to the Fed meeting tonight, right? So that is, if we break south into this range again, we're going to drop all the way back down, and that is going to push the price of Bitcoin back up. So I would definitely stay tuned for what is going to happen tonight. But if I look at the charts right now, the odds are that we're going to make a momentum back up again instead of moving back down. So at this stage, after this correction of approximately 10 to 15%, I'd rather want to start looking for longs instead of shorts, and I doubt whether we are going to retest 41k all the way again. If we're going to get continuation on Bitcoin, the chances are that we're going to have a continuation all the way towards the level of 57k. I think that if there's going to be another impulse, we're going to take these highs here, and would it be a surprise if we get all the way towards 55k or 57k. So what is the strategy right now? I think that you should be looking at buying the dip on those altcoins and on Bitcoin. When we're looking at the equities, we get another confirmation of the fact that there is a healthy correction taking place. The Nasdaq has been making a beautiful momentum here, has been taking the highs here too, and is currently having a standard correction taking place. What is the level that I preferably want the Nasdaq to see sustain? I think it's the area around 14,000 points that I want to see it sustain on, as then we are flipping once again, and then we can see continuation. Pretty much aligning with the sideways correction that we have been experiencing in 2021, and also lining up with the conclusion that we've had on the US dollar. When we're looking at Ethereum against USDT, we also concluded yesterday that we were fighting a crucial resistance. We dropped back down, and now we are also seeing a 4-hour bearish divergence, right? And we've got a crucial support, or at least a level or area that I want to see sustain if we want to get a reversal taking place here. So in that case, we also got this low here. We didn't sweep it yet. We could still see it sweep in the coming hours or in the coming few days. But overall, the bearish divergence is beautifully playing out. And I think that if we are going to hold around the 3K zone, we are ready for the next impulse move. And then we probably are expecting ourselves to run towards 4.4K, taking out these highs here. And then we are making ourselves ready for the next continuation. So overall, I'm looking for the same conclusion here around $3,000 that we are holding up there. And if we do, we are ready to have that continuation taking place. Finally, scale, also heavy correction, but we're getting towards a point around 18 cents and also around 20 cents that we could be getting some momentum back in. So yes, we are having this correction on Bitcoin, and we are having a correction on the altcoins too. We have been sweeping the actual low here. We have also been getting towards strength on the US dollar. But instead of looking at shorts at this point, I think that the correction is pretty much a very flat and normal one, through which I'm assuming that you should be looking at buying the dip, in which you're seeking for levels that you could be looking at based on the levels that I've just been giving you. And I would not be looking at shorts unless we lose the level of 41k, but I'm not assuming we will, given the fact that this correction is going to be relatively flat at this point. I hope you have enjoyed this update. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. I'll be looking at some altcoins. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't do stupid shit, and I'll see you again tomorrow.